Hi guys, it's Jay. Welcome to our inaugural video. Today we will be explaining who we are and what US2 is all about. We decided to make a YouTube channel, and we don't really have a format yet because it's not really a vlog. I guess maybe kind of it is, but maybe not. We're still figuring it out.
We think that we have some things that we'd love to share with the world. I feel like we've have some experiences under our belt that at the time we started our parenting journey would have been great to know all along. And we want to be that resource to people who are just maybe starting out or looking for some hope or looking for some help.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've already been involved in is we are big advocates for adoption. We've adopted our 3 kids, which is why we're doing the channel. Kate has put together some successful adoption groups, and we've always been a resource just through exempling of our lifestyle. We get asked a lot to help people with their adoption journey, to help them understand, maybe know what to expect. We get asked to tell our story quite a bit in front of groups, adoption groups, and just help people through that journey, and we've been a pretty successful resource locally. And so we're thinking that if anybody can benefit from maybe reaching out a little bit more broad than we were able to do by having a YouTube channel, I think that's part of what we're looking to accomplish.
Yeah. So I don't know how basic you want to get in this one, but you know, you're Jay and I'm Kate. Maybe we should introduce ourselves. We've got 3 kids. Like Jay said, we adopted them all, and we adopted them from birth. We have a 12-year-old son, an 11-year-old son, and a 5-year-old daughter.
And then to add to the complexity alone of having an adoptive family, which comes with its own unique challenges, we have also 1 child with autism, very high functioning.
We're waiting on the official diagnosis next week, but we're pretty sure.
We've known for a long time. We just avoided actually getting that. It's an expensive test.
It is, and it's time. He's kind of at that social awkwardness, tween age anyway, so it would be difficult all on its own, but he's got some added challenges there too as well. And
then because our daughter is black, we are a mixed race family, which, being a mixed race family in any circumstance, comes with a lot of challenges, and there's even some more piled on top of being an adoptive mixed race family that I guess has been pretty eye-opening and enlightening to me, especially. And so I'm always willing to share about that and be an open book, just to help bring, I guess, some awareness to people, because there's a lot of things that through our journey and our adoption that I became aware of that I wouldn't have believed if people would have told me. So if somebody else can benefit from this, whether it's an adoptive mixed race family or any mixed race family or blended family,
or just seeing these people out in the world, it's becoming more and more normalized. We're seeing more television shows and commercials and media picking up on, hey, the world doesn't need to only see that picture perfect mom, dad, and white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids. That's not necessarily how all families look. So, but yeah, we're here to share. We're here to kind of let you in on some of the insider tips and tricks and struggles and triumphs and everything that our life has to offer.
And this is very new to us. This
The
trying
vlogging.
to do a YouTube.
Not the parenting,
Yeah,
but
not the parenting, the vlogging.
yeah.
So I don't know how good our quality is going to be, especially to start, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Bear with us. We're going to grow. It's going to get better.
And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. So we'll kind of design our format as we go, but mostly we're just looking to be a resource. So
let's touch on the name too, and you can either edit this in or make it into a separate video, but I think that we should explain where the US2 came from.
Yeah, so the name US2, and that's the name. So when our oldest son was in school, in traditional school, we had a lot of challenges with adoption-friendly language. We had some issues that arose that I'm doing a very poor job explaining. More on that later. But we decided that because we're very proactive people, we decided that, hey, something needs to be addressed about this. And we had always said that because our two sons, when we adopted them, they were white, they looked just like us, and nobody could tell. And people were always surprised when they had heard that our kids were adopted. And we always thought when we were out in the world, we needed a pin that said US2. Like, hey, when we'd see families that we knew were adoptive families or anything, that we just needed something to say, hey, look, we're all in this together, and we're one too, and you guys are one. And then that escalated the idea to starting a nonprofit called US2 to help advocate for adoptive families, mixed race families, and families that have been exposed to trauma in kids at a young age, because we think that the school system is very ill prepared to handle.
They're getting better.
They're
getting better each year. I hear of more trauma informed, more conferences, more education, more push for social emotional well-being. When our son started school, I remember saying we're just at the tip of the iceberg on this. Like there's so much to learn, but that doesn't mean our child can be the guinea pig. He shouldn't be the one suffering because people aren't prepared to deal with him. And I think a lot of our videos in the future are going to touch on those kind of topics, that we really had to take things into our own hands to figure out what works for us. And we don't necessarily live the way everybody else does. And our kids are thriving.
I don't think it's fair to have an expectation of the school when they don't have the training and the information, and that's part of what the US2 project was to help bring that awareness to people, because they just don't know. And so we can't, feasibly be offended at their, lack of information if nobody's provided that. So I think that's important to note, that we don't fault the schools and don't think. I mean, it's just a deficiency in education of the school system. Right.
And so that nonprofit has yet to get up and running. It became a huge
got backburnered.
Yeah, became a huge undertaking that we just didn't have the time, the resources, the finances to get that up and going. So don't get on your computer and Google this US2 yet. But kind of our big picture here is putting this out there for the world. And hey, do we have the numbers? Do we have our tribe of people that are all in this together? Hey, US2, we could benefit from this. Hey, US2, we want to advocate for our kids, kind of thing. So maybe that's where we're heading in the future.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that the getting the US2 is we changed our plan. We took our kids out of traditional school and we put them into virtual school, and we homeschool them, and so we were able to back burner that because it became less of a priority for us. It had less of an impact for us immediately, but now that our kids are getting a little bit older, it's we're revisiting some of this stuff, which is how we ended up with the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so here we are.
Yep. Here we are. So I think that's about it. We summed it up, didn't we?
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll throw together some decent videos that will keep people informed, let them see,
Entertained.
keep them entertained. Although I'm still of the generation where I don't understand how people can watch other people live on YouTube, but
That's all I watch.
well, you know,
Other than a select
I
few
grew up
shows.
with the Real World. I mean, I thought the Real World was a fascinating project. So I
Yeah.
guess that's why YouTube is so successful.
Our dog
That's
is
our
having an
dog.
asthma attack.
So on that note, we'll close out, and I'll start putting together our first video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye.